Hello and welcome to A Cup of Conversation on BRT TV. My name is Jan Ghazi, and this week in the studio I have a new friend, a young guy, a very talented sportsman. His name is Nazir Hüseyin Charalambous, and I would like to thank his mother first for introducing us, and she was a guest on my programme not so long ago, and if you know the world of magazine and newspaper here, the TRNC, then you'll know probably the name Serpil Kadırlar. So a big thank you to Serpil for bringing her son over to BRTK today. Now, Nazir is actually living in the UK. He's here on holiday, and he is an expert, a medal-winning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu sportsman. We'll find out more about this sport with Nazir. So first of all, thank you, Nazir, for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. Now, we all know your mum here in North Cyprus. She's a very, very popular lady. She writes for many publications and she's very, very busy. She said to me a few months ago that you were coming over on holiday. You're here from the UK, yeah?
Yes.
So you're here now with your family,
yep,
spending time, and you have kindly agreed to come onto the programme today. Now, the reason why is because you are a really talented, very successful sportsman. But before that, let's find out more about you. Where do you come from in the UK? Where are you living at the moment?
I come from like the Hertfordshire area. I've lived there more or less all my life. I moved to Turkey for a period of time and I came back, obviously. So.
Right. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 13.
13?
Yes.
A very mature 13. Your mother said that you'll have no problem speaking to me on the television.
Not at all.
You're very, very confident, and it's great to see you here. So, let's go to sports. Now, I have never heard of the Brazilian version of Jiu-Jitsu. We all know about the martial arts, but how many years have you been involved with this sport?
Around a year and a half now. I first found it, so I had moved back from Turkey. I've come back to England, and I have always been into martial arts and things like that. So I did karate when I was a bit younger, and it just wasn't really for me, so I stopped doing it. And I've been looking for things, like, for quite a while. I did Muay Thai for a period of time, so when I came back, I was looking for something. And I found Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so I thought, okay, I'll try it, and since then I've taken quite a liking to it. So really, it's only been a year and a half, like you said, and in that year and a half, you've done very, very well, because you've got medals here. We'll show the medals a bit later on, but amazing. So really, this sport is your sport now, isn't it, really? Yeah, yeah.
Why martial arts? When you first started martial arts, what was it about this? Because it's different from contact sports, it's different from team sports. You know, it's quite disciplined. What is it about martial arts that you like so much, Nazir?
That's a really hard one to answer, because I've always liked kind of like every aspect of martial arts in a way, simply because of like you make quite good friends while training, you keep fit, it's quite disciplined, and everyone's quite nice. It's like I've travelled to quite a few competitions and I've travelled across the world. And I've met new people, so I couldn't really pinpoint that, to be honest.
What is the difference between Jiu-Jitsu and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
So traditional Japanese Jiu-Jitsu is more defence of striking. So if someone went to punch, it's more of like just kind of evading and kind of blocking that. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu works more towards grappling. It's kind of like, in a way, like a mix of wrestling and judo, because it actually focuses on attack and not purely defence.
Interesting, very interesting, because here in the TRNC we do have martial arts, and more recently Wing Chun is very popular in the TRNC. I don't know whether you've heard of Wing Chun, you probably have.
Yep.
But and my son does that. He's 9 and he's doing Wing Chun at the moment, which again is more self-defence. I think that was coming out of, you know, when it first started years ago, it was all to do with protecting yourself and not really attacking, but just defending yourself.
Yeah.
Is that a similar thing then?
It's similar, because it's not things like punching someone and knee in their face. It's grappling, so it's more joint manipulation and chokes. So it's quite different to most other martial arts and sports simply because of that.
It is interesting that you were in Turkey, and Turkey is quite famous for wrestling, and wrestling is a very obviously a strong contact sport, and you are, doing lots of different moves. Here, so with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you're combining sort of, karate and wrestling or normal Jiu-Jitsu. So Is it one-to-one? Do you actually have to, you know, wrestle or fight with another person?
Yeah, definitely. So the way most lessons are orchestrated, you'll learn the moves, you'll drill for a bit, and afterwards you'll spar with your teammates, so it's just light, you're not trying to kill them, and just practice the thing that you've learned. But in competitions, it's very, very rough, like it's full contact.
When I saw my son do a bit of Wing Chun, his is more like, you know, they try to grab his arm and he, you know, defends himself. And I can't really see it as a massive big sport, you know, competition, but yours is, and you've actually won a few medals.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about that. So when you started doing this, are you a member of a club, or is it something to do with school? How did you start? I mean, where do you actually practice?
I currently train at Greater Baja Cheshunt. They're an amazing club, lots of amazing coaches, good teammates, good friends that I've made there. Yeah, that's where I train. I train between 6 and 7 days a week.
Wow, it's a big schedule then.
Yeah, it's quite a big thing. I train consistently and often, so...
So you go 6 or 7 times a week?
Yeah.
And how often? I mean, how long? Like an hour or 2 hours?
Between an hour and 2 hours.
That is a big chunk of your time, of your life. So this is something that you've dedicated yourself to at the moment. When you started this a year and a half ago, did you expect yourself to develop so quickly and actually enter competitions?
When I first started, I thought I'll just do it, you know, come once or twice a week, you know, just kind of have a bit of fun. But I never really expected to come so far with competitions, because I think when I got about 3 or 4 months in, I thought, well, everyone's competing, this is quite fun. So I quite enjoyed it. I went to my first competition. It was like an inter-club thing. So it wasn't really by an organisation, it was by like a small club in Tottenham. So I went there, I brought home silver. I was a white belt at the time, just begun. I fought against higher belts, and still quite proud of it because it's my first ever medal. And then that kind of opened the whole world to me of competing and like new people to kind of watch and look to.
You mentioned belts because, you know, in these martial arts sports, whatever, you have different colours, different belts. You go up a grade, a level. Correct me when I'm making wrong terms here, by the way. I'm just, you know, winging this at the moment because I have no idea about martial arts, apart from what my son does. But anyway, so you go from level to level, with the black belt being the highest, yeah?
No, actually.
No?
So, I wouldn't name out the entire grading system. That will take ages.
Yeah.
So it goes. So with adults, it's white, blue, purple, brown, black, black and red, red and white, and then solid red is the highest possible belt.
Amazing. So what level are you at the moment now for as a youngster, as a teenager?
I'm currently a grey black belt, so that's like really one of the first divisions you'll be into. I'm hoping to get my yellow belt sometime soon, but yeah.
So do you have like certain times of the year where you're going for your exams, your gradings, and if you pass, you get your belt?
No,
how does it work?
It's not necessarily like that, because so we have one main teacher. He teaches us once a week, and he's the one who normally does gradings. But I have around 3 teachers, and they kind of tell him how we're doing, and if we think that we're ready for the belt, and the amount of time that we do it for. So because with jiu-jitsu, you really have to do it for like a certain amount of time, then you'll get a belt. So you could be really, really good, but they'll still want you to wait a little bit until you go up.
2 hours every day, or 1.5, 2 hours every day, it's a long time to be doing the sport that you're doing, but you obviously enjoy it because you're successful at it and you've got all these titles already. But when you go in there, do you warm up? I mean, how does it, for anyone out there who wants to start a martial arts sport, let's say there's another young gentleman like you who's watching the programme now and is thinking of joining. Tell us a bit about it. So what happens? You know, you go in to your club where you're doing this sport. What happens? So
if you're new, you obviously go in, you'll kind of say hi to everyone. Normally people are quite happy to greet you. Like, oh, what's up? So we'll go in, we'll warm up, we'll start drilling. So you're always put with a partner. A lot of people, they kind of just stick to some main people. It's like my 2 training partners. They're really good. They help me quite a lot, and so you kind of stick with a main group of people that you train with, because you need to train with people around your same height, around your same weight, around your same belt and skill at the same time. Because if you're training with someone who's a much higher belt than you, well, yes, that will be good for you because they can teach you. For them, they won't be learning, so you try to kind of stick with a group of people, and that's kind of how you make friends in a way, or that's how I find.
Yeah.
So you do the warm-up, you normally spar your first lesson, sometimes maybe your second or third. It depends how confident you are. So if you want to spar for the first lesson, the coach is like, okay, then just be gentle, no one hurt you. And then you just, yeah, that's pretty much it, really.
You have a couple of medals there. So your first medal, you got a silver.
Yeah.
And is that here with you? Is that the medal, or you didn't bring that today?
I didn't bring that today.
Okay, so tell us about the medals that you brought, which I have to say, viewers, amazingly heavy. He was wearing his around his neck before he came to the studio, and I thought to myself, your mum probably killed you for adding this extra weight to your luggage, but you actually wore them.
I had to wear them.
You had to wear them on the plane coming over.
Yeah. So
how many kilos are they? They're quite heavy.
All my medals together are around 15 kg.
Okay, so tell us about the medals that you have right in front of us now, please.
So I've got about 30 medals, and I bought some of my favourite ones simply because I love how they look.
Okay.
So I've got my most recent one is the English Nationals. I did that, I think, about a week ago. And yeah, that was honestly really difficult. I had some amazing opponents.
So this is your most recent win?
Yeah.
Just a week ago?
Yeah.
And so what, you won?
Yes.
This is
a
the Champions medal?
Yes.
Okay, then give me that for a second so that you can show the others. So this is the first, the most recent medal that Nazir's won. Okay, next.
This medal here is from the North American Grappling Association. It's personally one of my favourite medals because it's the first big competition I went to, because this is quite a big industry and they do it all over the world. So I thought, like, okay, I'll just compete, first big competition properly. I managed to bring home gold with that as well. I competed in the gi and no gi with that. I got silver in the no gi, gold in the gi. So, yeah.
Amazing, very well done.
And then I've got another one from the North American Grappling Association. This is one that means quite a lot to me because it was my first time that I went abroad for a competition.
Yeah.
So I flew over to Holland and I won there. So.
And that's the third and final one. Okay, excellent. So, we have one more. So this is 3 out of 4 at the moment. And finally.
And the reason I bought this medal is from the Warriors Cup is because this was probably I had my most difficult fight in a competition I've ever had. The person I went against, he was honestly quite extraordinary. I'm even surprised myself to this day that I won that. But yeah, it was an amazing fight. It's just kind of, it means quite a lot because I had a lot of fun there, so.
Excellent. Well, I want to say congratulations for winning all these medals so far in a year and a half of practicing this sport, Nazir. Who chooses who enters each category or who goes to which competition? Because there must be some sort of criteria that, you know, do they decide, OK, Nazir, you're good enough, so we're going to enter you, or do you say, well, I want to enter this competition? So
different competitions work differently. So there are private invite competitions where they invite you if you're good enough, you kind of need to get noticed, but there are other competitions where you just enter. So they sort you by your belt and your weight.
Yeah.
So if you're overweight and you've entered in the lower weight category, they'll just disqualify you. If you haven't made weight, you haven't made weight. Mm-hmm. And there's then your belt, which is how long you've been doing it for. You said you went to Holland, didn't you? Yes. And who sponsors you, or how do you go? I mean, it's not like as if it's down the road or at your club. Holland's quite a distance to go to. So, I mean, do they pay for all your expenses, or do you have to find someone to sponsor you to go? I'm currently not sponsored, so, you know, hit me up. Anyone out there who wants to sponsor this young gentleman, he's taking offers right now. If you want to follow me on what I do, follow my Instagram, Nazir, NAZIR_BJJ. I'm not sponsored at the moment. My dad pays for me to fly out. I've got an amazing support network. My grandparents and our good friend Robert, he drives us all around the country to go compete. So I've got a very good support network. My mother, my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, they all like to support me with this. So. Excellent. Well done to all your family for supporting you. And so, basically, what you're saying is that you have to sort of fund your own expenses and travels if you want to enter competitions that are abroad, a bit far away. So, I want to ask you now, do you have a special diet, a regime? Do you have to be super fit to be so talented or so successful in the sport like you are? Often with jiu-jitsu, you'll become fit through just doing it, really, and you do need to have a very good cardio to be able to do it, because the matches really only get up to like, I think 5 or 6 minutes when you're a junior. But it's very, very tiring. So when you go on, the adrenaline is just out of this world, and it's so difficult to like throw people around and hold them in certain positions.
Yeah.
So it is quite tiring. You do need good cardio. You will get that over time, but if you're quite fit, it will definitely be good for you.
So do you do any extra other activities outside of this to keep yourself fit, or is it whatever you do every day that you go to your club to do?
Normally I go on little jogs sometimes.
Yeah.
I eat high protein, high carbs because it helps build muscle. But what you're not allowed to do is gain excessive muscle, because when you have like really, really ripped abs, like obviously it looks nice,
Yeah.
but it's just there. It strongly affects your flexibility, and you need to be quite nimble in order to maneuver around people. And you definitely need to be flexible, because you get bent in ways that just aren't. This is not natural. It goes against nature.
Stretch you and bend.
You get stretched.
Sounds interesting, sounds like fun. I don't know whether it's fun for you or not when you're doing when you're actually in the competition.
It's enjoyable.
But it seems like you're having good fun, and you're doing very well because of all the wonderful awards that you've won so far, the medals that you've got, the achievements you've made. It's successful, amazing in just 1.5 years, Nazir, so well done for that. When I refer to my son, him doing Wing Chun, and sometimes they use not the legend, not the words, but they're saying like, self-defense and anti-bullying and to protect yourself. Do you think that your sport or all martial arts is good for anyone out there who wants to maybe get a bit more self-esteem, to get more confidence?
Yes, definitely.
Is that a good way to get? Yeah,
it certainly is, because so jiu-jitsu, it's kind of more catered to the floor. So because really most fighters, you end up on the floor at some point. And if you don't know what to do when someone's on top of you, that's it. So it really does it's more groundwork than anything. It helps you maneuver, it teaches you how to. So if it's a thing for like self-defense and anti-bullying, it's definitely like one of the best things to do.
What do your friends think about what you're doing now? Because, do they think I'm not going to touch Nazir because he might, floor me in a few seconds, a few moves? Are people more aware of what you're doing, or are they supporting you?
A lot of my friends do support me. A lot of people in my school are just like, oh, whatever, like they don't have to care too much about what I'm doing. But my friends are very supportive of it. My school is very aware, because my teachers just love to say it in assembly, because they let me like present and just kind of show everyone what I'm up to. My form tutor as well, he likes to kind of keep up to date with what we're all doing. So
excellent. So everyone's enjoying, doing this, and I think what you've achieved so far, I keep on saying this, but I think it's amazing in just 1.5 years. I thought you'd be saying to me, yeah, I'll be doing it about 5, 6 years, but 1.5 years is a very short time to be so successful. So where do you go from here? So what's the next level? I mean, do you have, what's the next grading? What belt are you after now?
My next grading would be yellow-white. Yellow-white. Because the belt work is there's that colour and white, there's that colour just solid, and there's that colour of like a black stripe down the middle. So it goes grey, yellow, orange, green.
Right.
That's how the belt system works in a children's after white belt. And when you get to 16, you either go back to a white belt, but if you've gotten to, I think, orange belt or yellow-black, you go straight to a blue belt.
Right. And so when's your next grading? Do you know yet or not?
You don't know when you're going to get graded.
You don't know yet?
It just depends on how my coaches are feeling, I suppose.
And any tournaments coming up? Any competitions?
I've got the English Open Nogi, I think, about 4 days after I come back to England. So, yeah.
Right. So a week ago you won something, and then when you leave Cyprus again, you'll be back into another competition.
Yes.
So who knows, by the time the end of the month, you'll probably be having, adding more medals to your whole collection that you've got. You must be very proud of what you've achieved.
Yes, I'm very proud.
And I think Mum and your family are very, very proud of you, because she was like, is it possible to get Nazir on my programme? I said yes straight away, and I think she made the right decision in contacting me, because I'm really proud of somebody like you, a young guy, a young Cypriot who's doing well, and hopefully you'll do even better. Have you researched, is there Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu here in North Cyprus?
There's none in North Cyprus, so please, someone open one. It needs to happen. I know that there's some on the south side.
Right.
But yeah, there's none here.
None here. Well, maybe you can come back one year and open it. You know, maybe when you're a bit older, after you graduate from high school or something.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Why not? Why not? It could be a dream for everyone to happen. But are you hoping to continue with this for many more years?
Definitely, definitely.
This is the direction you want to go in. Would you ever be an instructor, do you think?
I'd be an instructor because when it comes to my future careers, I'm quite conflicted between a doctorate in a university of science or an instructor for jiu-jitsu, so it's...
Very similar, Nazir.
Yeah,
yes, I can see how, you know, you can go from one to the other. Doctor, I think, well, you know, with a sensible head and your shoulders, and you're very, very clever, very articulate for 13, I think you can do that. Be a doctor and then be a jiu-jitsu on, instructor on the side as well. But amazing developments in your life. What do you think of Cyprus? When you come here, is it good to relax and just enjoy time off?
Yes, it's an amazing country. I love it here.
Yeah?
It's a great place to just relax and take some time off what you're doing.
You're not here for the... Are you here for the summer, this summer, or not? Do you think you'll come back?
I'm pretty sure that I'll be here for summer.
Yeah. So then you can maybe relax in the sea, keep yourself fit.
Yeah.
Whilst eating too many kebabs here.
Yeah.
Maybe. Make sure that your mum keeps you fit for your sport. But would you recommend this sport to other young people?
Yeah.
And it's not just... I don't want to be categorising just for young men, but can other girls doing this as well?
Anyone can do this. This is a sport for everyone, really. It's quite good for everyone because it's really catered to defeat the objective of size. Because if you're in boxing, you're fighting someone twice your weight, there's no way you're going to win, really. Like, no matter how much technique, if they hit you once, that's it. In jiu-jitsu, it kind of teaches you how to deal with heavier and bigger people, simply with technique. So it's good for people who are smaller. It'll be definitely good for women and older people. And
what age would you think you should start? I mean, you came to this at the age of about 10, 11, so...
yeah, I came to this at the age of 11.
Yeah.
I'd say a very good age to start is around, I think, 8 or 9, if you ask me, because I see a lot of younger kids. I help a lot of younger kids sometimes.
Yeah.
If you don't really have a passion for the sport, you can't do it. And that's why I find it's a bit better to be older, because it's quite physical and quite rough. And you need to be able to take it all in, because it's very, very complicated, some of the moves and some of the situations that get put in. You need to be quite technical.
It is technical, isn't it? There are lots of things that you have to... It isn't just, you know, doing the moves and grappling or whatever you do. You have to know, and you have to do it in the right way, execute each move in the right way, don't you?
Yes.
You can't break any rules. Is it strict? Are they quite strict with you?
Different organisations organise things differently. So, like the North American Grappling Association, they're a bit more lenient with what you can do, because I think at the age of 13 and over, at the expert category, you're allowed to do straight Achilles locks, which is a type of leg lock, which is strictly prohibited in other competitions, such as the IBJJF. So different competitions have different rules. Some are a bit more lenient, but others are very, very strict.
You have a great career in front of you, a great future in front of you. And I know that you were playing with your phone before the studio, and so I think you're on social media, aren't you?
Yes.
And you mentioned that we could follow you.
Yes.
So how can we find out more about you? How can we follow you, Nazir? Where are you on social media?
I'm on Instagram mainly. I don't really use Facebook or anything. So on Instagram, you can follow me, Nazir_BJJ, NAZIR_BJJ. To kind of keep up to date, I post just things I do in my daily life, to my competitions, weighing in, etc.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you'll have more followers, the more successful that you get. But I'm very happy that you are here today. And you got any plans for Cyprus? What's your favourite thing about coming to Cyprus when you're here? Tell us a bit about your plans for this holiday.
I don't really have any plans in particular. I just love seeing my family, of course, and they normally bring me to places that I haven't seen, get me to do things that I haven't done. So the past few days we've been on a bit of a go-karting frenzy. So, yeah, it's always enjoyable.
You like motorsports as well, then, go-karting?
Yes.
Excellent.
I love it.
Very good. What about going out and about? I mean, have you... where are you based at the moment? Where are you staying with your family? Are you in Guinea?
I'm in Guinea at the moment, staying with my mum and my stepfather.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Any plans? Where do you want to go? I mean, do you go down to the harbour? Do you go restaurants, eating, drinking, or...?
I love Malta. That's...
Malta?
Yeah, one of my favourite places in Cyprus. Lovely place.
Where? Where do you like to go there? When you go there, what do you like doing?
I don't know the precise name, but there's a doner place, and it is by far the best doner I've had in my life.
Well, even better in the UK than the UK?
Far better.
Far better.
Light years.
Okay, so doner. Are you allowed to eat doner?
Yeah.
I'm sure your instructors might not be very happy with all the fatty...
They're right with me eating, they're right with me eating.
Yeah.
I train enough to burn it off.
But you like coming to Cyprus, visiting your family. As we said, your mum and your stepfather are here. And you're here with your aunt and your brother?
Yes, I'm with them here tonight.
Yeah, they're in the corner.
Behind the cameras.
Very, very supportive of you.
Yeah.
I'm sure your family are very proud. And I want to say thank you very much, Nazir, for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
I wish you all the best. Keep up all the good work. And I might try and follow you on Instagram and see if I can follow what you're doing. But
okay.
I really do think that you deserve all the success that you have, because at such a young age, you are very, very mature for your age. Not many 13-year-olds are sportive like you, because many 13-year-olds, even though you had your phone in your hand and you were, you know, technically aware, most kids your age will probably be in front of the PlayStation playing games, but you're out there doing your sport, so you're an example to others, and I think that's a really good thing to have. Although, are you also into games as well?
I'm also into games. I can't say that.
Everything you're saying, no, I don't do things like that.
Yeah.
I'm too busy doing my jiu-jitsu. But yeah, but you have sport in your life,
yeah,
and you have all the other fun things as well.
Yes, I have a good balance.
And I think everyone should have sport, don't you think?
I think everyone should have some sort of sports that they enjoy. Don't just do jiu-jitsu because someone else is that you like doing it. Do it because you enjoy it. Like, you might really hate fighting, but you might love golf.
Yeah.
It's different between everyone, so definitely find something that you'd like to keep active, stay fit, make new friends. Do you get what I mean? Yeah,
everyone should have some sort of activity they should be doing to keep fit. And it keeps you fit, doesn't it? It keeps you looking...
It definitely does keep you fit.
Very, very healthy. So everyone should do a sport, and maybe, just maybe, you could do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. To find out more, follow Nazir on Instagram and open up a whole new world, because I just learned something new on my programme today. So once again, have a great time while you're here with your family. Hopefully see you again soon, maybe in the summer, and you can give us an update on how you're getting on.
Okay.
All right?
I will do.
And give my regards back to everyone in the UK as well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. Thanks a lot. And with that, we've come to the end of a couple of conversation here on BRT TV. Thanks to Nazir, Hüseyin, Charalambous, or Charalambous, as he says it in his own language in the UK. And thanks to Sebi Kadrlar for introducing me to her son. And thank you for watching this programme. Until next week, take care and see you soon. Bye-bye.